Okay, here we go. We're going to try and tape my mom and put her on YouTube, which she's probably up there going, oh my goodness, oh, you kids. So, but it's a way to keep her with all of us, and hopefully everyone will share it as, if we ever had a monarch in our family and someone to model all of our lives by, it was my mom. It was my mom Horn, and we all really miss her. So let's get on with this, before I just sit here and ramble. So y'all owe me a lot. No, yo, Charlene.
21st, 1989, and we're talking about her family history. We've decided to tape it so that our family can listen to it and recall memories that she had. All right, now talk. I don't care, just tell me. Okay, the day after World War I, we ended, and the day after Christmas, you came to Delaware.
To Delaware. And the soldiers, they gave us candy on the train. And that's how I remember that it was World War I. Because my brother fought in World War II.
Now, why did your parents decide to come here?
Well, for the climate and health-wise. But they should have stayed in Michigan.
Because why?
Because Father should have bought that Gallagher farm that he lived on so long. It was a lovely farm.
What did he farm?
All kinds of crops. Potatoes was a big crop, and we raised beans and corn.
Did you guys have animals?
Oh, we had cows, milking cows. Father had 9 to milk. Mother had 9. They were Holsteins. And Papa's cows did not like Mother to touch them. And her cows didn't like Dad touch them. But she had to milk them all one time. He had his teeth pulled. Or worked on. He didn't have a bull, he hadn't worked on. He's worse off than she was. And they come through with what's Clarence, Ella Mae, Sadie, Harold, Sadie, and John. Come through with 5 kids.
And Uncle John, he
died with spinal meningitis.
He was working on something when
he worked down at
Lewis?
At Lewis in CC camp. He was at the CC camp. They was working in the marsh at Lewis, and he took typhoid fever, which went into spinal meningitis.
And Uncle Harold went on to, what did he do? I mean, he had a bakery, I know that.
He had a bakery, and he died with, I guess, a cancer. Something of the liver, anyway.
And Uncle Alfred went into the car business.
Yeah.
And Aunt Sadie became housewife.
Yeah.
And then,
when did work in the factory.
When you guys came here, okay, you got to go to school, right? But you went to school some in Michigan, you said, but then when you got here,
1st grade, 2nd grade, and I only went to, I think when we passed the 6th grade, we had to go to the high school in Harrington. See, I went to a country school in Delaware called Smith's School. We all did.
Where was that? Was it in Harrington?
It's out in the country. It's out a big stump, if you know where that is.
I mean, was it like a one-room schoolhouse?
One-room schoolhouse. And she taught 8 grades. Miss Stella Reynolds was our teacher. She had 2 daughters. And then we were supposed to go to Harrington School. But I never went. I stopped. I was only 15
when you quit school.
Yeah. And when we moved to our
Did you quit school because you had to help on the farm?
No, I didn't do so much farm work. I did a lot of housework. I did pick strawberries, tomatoes, and stuff like that. But not to till. Sadie, now, she would hoe strawberries, her and John. They was like 2 boys together.
So you just quit school because you quit school?
Because I had no way to get there. I walked.
Well,
and my brother Harold, he went and stayed with Annie and Uncle Alf so he could get to school. But he didn't finish either. And Sadie didn't finish either. She could have, though. She lived at the last farm in She could have walked, but she was proud. She didn't have silk stockings to wear.
How about Uncle Alfred? He finished school, right?
Oh yeah, he graduated. But he went in World War II the year, but him and one girl in his class come back and got their diplomas. So, cards off to that they did that.
And Uncle John, did he finish school?
No, John didn't, no. John died at 20 with spinal meningitis. From a CC camps. He got the typhoid and then it went into spinal meningitis. And he died the year that your mommy was 6 years old. Sadie and Esther were 6 years old. They were going to start school. And they got in to see Uncle John at Fort DuPont. Now that's where he was. At that time it was Fort DuPont Hospital.
Where was that, in Wilmington?
That's where the
Governor Bacon Health Center is now?
yeah.
What do you remember about your grandmother, who was...
Grandmother Sharp, you mean?
Yeah,
Ellen.
who used to be a Johnson.
Her husband was John Sharp, and he was from England.
So, John came from England, right? And Ellen was
Grandma
from...
was from Canada.
Was from Canada?
I guess they must have met in Canada. I'll let you ask me.
Then
And Grandma Sharp's mother was
a Douglas.
a Douglas. Her maiden name was Douglas. But she married a man by the name of Johnson, and she had her children by him. I don't know. It was Ellen, Uncle Lou, Uncle Bob, Uncle Bill, and then there was 2 sisters. Grandma Sharp had 2 sisters, and
Now, they lived in Michigan too, right?
they all were from Canada though, originally, I think.
Did they speak French, being
I
from
don't
Canada?
know.
You don't
Not
know?
that I know of.
Okay, then your dad was Lewis.
Mac.
Yeah.
Bye.
And his mom and dad were Pauline and Michael,
Mac.
and they were from Germany,
Mm-hmm.
and they spoke fluent German. How'd they get here, do you know? On a boat?
I don't know. They lived in Canada, though, I guess, for a while before they come to Michigan. I really don't know that, but I know the Sharps and the Macs lived in Commerce, Michigan, and they were neighbors. Because Mother remembered Dad's a young man. She didn't think much of him at that time. He made fun of her being afraid of the geese. So, but later on she met him and married him, and then had all them children by him. Really, Mother had 9 births, but only 5 of us lived.
5 lived. Well, how did you meet Pop-Pop?
Through a girlfriend of mine at the shirt factory, Margaret Bland.
What was your first
Margaret
date?
Hill. Oh, gee, I don't know. It was after Christmas. I guess in January, and we was married by the next December. Margaret brought Howard up, her and Granville. We dated like 4 of us together. He said I fed him tarts the first time I met him. Mother made these tarts, jelly tarts. So, anyway.
Did you guys have a great big wedding?
No. We were married at the parsonage in Asbury Church at the parsonage. That was in the preacher's home, see, which is gone now. That's not there anymore. That's where Alfred Murray was married too. He was married 22nd of December in 1928. Howard was 28 years old and I was 22.
And what'd you guys do when you got married? I mean, where'd you live?
We lived on a farm back in my father's. But we got in there and we couldn't get out. The roads were so bad. Ruts and holes. We left our car at Pops and walked across the fields. I bought a pair of boots so I could go across. And then we we only stayed from, we got married in December and we left it in October. We moved to Harrington, on Fleming Street for about 2 months. We lived there, October, November. December, day after Christmas, we moved on Grant Street and we never left it. We rented 5 years and we built our home, lived the balance of time there. I've only been here 4 years, so we lived all that time. Your mother and your Aunt Esther, the twins, were 4 months old. We moved on Grant Street. And we never left it until Howard died.
And then, what do you remember about your grandmother? I mean, did she come to visit in Michigan because she lived there with you, or?
Yeah, she visited Mom. We visited her. I used to go and stay with her at Aunt Millie. Her youngest living daughter always was wanting me to be with her. In fact, I used to go with Aunt Millie on her dates, horse and buggy.
Did you go stay at your Grandma Pauline and Grandpa Michael's?
See, my Grandma Pauline died before Clarence was born, so I never knew her. But Grandpa Mac and Aunt Em, she lost her first husband, Helen's father, Percy. It was Rob Percy. He died when Helen was about, I always thought, 2 or 3 years old, little girl. And then she married Uncle Al. Helen was about 18, 16 or 18. And because Helen said she wished it had been her wedding. She was so young, we thought. But anyway.
How old were you when you married Papa?
I was 22.
22?
I was 23 when the twins were born.
How old was
Papa was 28. That's why I know it was 1928. He was born in 1900.
Right.
I was born in 1906, see? I was 23 when the twins came. He was 29. We got tied down in the first year, you might say, with babies.
And they were born at Grandma Mac's farm, right?
Farm, right in the living room. She fixed it as a bedroom for me. And the doctor come right out to the house.
Who was the doctor?
Dr. W.T. Chipman.
Oh, yeah?
Lovely. He was family. He was good.
Who helped your mom when you were born? Her mother or?
Who?
When you were born?
When I was born?
Yeah. I mean, she had you in Michigan.
Yeah. I lived right at home. I don't know. Well, who helped her? When my mother had children, we had a nurse in Michigan for that one that we lost, Pauline. Was born after John. She died at birth. She's the one that was led to death. I said she knew when I looked at the baby, she knew something had happened because I said, Mom, look at the baby. So there was blood around, you know. But I don't know whether Mother had help when I was born or not. I think I was born at Wocket Lake, they called it in Michigan, on a farm. Grandfather Guier owned this farm. They always called him Grandpa Guier, but he wasn't a grandpa. He was just a friend. And he had me real spoiled. He said he hushed me in the cradle. So
how old were you when you came to Delaware? 15?
Oh, no. Only 12.
12.
Yeah, 12. 6. Sadie was 6. There's 6 years between Sadie and I. So
how did you guys come? On a train or?
We came through on the train. Stopped in Pittsburgh and we was all black and sooty. My daddy said to Mother, he said, Mom, you know, your face is black. And she said, well, so is yours. And the kids are too. So she washed us up in the depot. We had a layover there, about an hour or so.
How long did it take you to get here from Michigan?
We rode all day and all night from here. We got almost to Harrington. The conductor said to Pop, he said,